Welcome to Talking Heads on USA Global TV, starring the one and only wonderful Dr. JACALYN. It's a prestigious place where world-class influencers and experts meet, and where you'll find the most trusted advisors and coaches for all things in life and business. Visit usaglobaltv.com to sign up for our newsletter, get the value you need, and be first in line to learn about events and giveaways and other valuable content. Connect with us. Email Dr. JACALYN at usaglobaltv.com to talk about how you can become part of USA Global TV. That's USA Global TV, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. We're so happy to have you here at USA Global TV and Radio. I'm Dr. JACALYN KERBECK, and our show today is The Power of Etiquette and Manners. My co-host Philip Sykes has the day off, but we have a super fabulous guest who is joining us. She is an international etiquette consultant, and she's also a teacher. Let us welcome Hajare to the show. Hi there, welcome.
Hi, thank you very much. I'm very delighted to be here in the show.
Thank you. And for people who are joining us, how do you pronounce your full name?
My full name is pronounced like Hajare Ait Ouaba.
Thank you. And where are you joining us from today?
I'm joining you today from the Netherlands. Today it's pretty sunny weather, but also some clouds are around. So we have some weather with mood changes, but that's okay.
That's okay, because the message is still going to be the same, and you have accomplished so much and you're out there helping people every day. Can you share why you're passionate about etiquette and manners, and then we'll get into your background?
Okay. Well, my journey about etiquette and manners, it started actually during the global pandemic. I remember it was during summer in the first year when it started around 2020. We were in the lockdown, and that was the moment when I started thinking about life. About we used to have our freedoms and live our lives. One day it was like that, but the next day we were all in lockdown and sitting at home and insecure with fear, not knowing what the future will bring. And that was the moment that I started thinking about, am I happy with my current life? Is this what I want right now? Where am I at the moment? And yeah, so I started on Google, looking for like-minded people. Are there people with the same feeling as I do? And one day I was scrolling on Instagram, and then there was a workshop that popped up from the British School of Excellence. They used to be the British School of Etiquette back then. And there was a free workshop. I signed in. It was with the lovely Philip Sykes and Richard Cullinan about emotional intelligence. And when I started, I subscribed to the workshop. When I started watching, it felt like coming home when they introduced etiquette, manners, and the story about emotional intelligence, getting to know yourself. That was for me the moment that I started doing my research about this subject. And last year, I graduated for the trainer at the British School of Excellence, and I am now at the moment where I wanted to be.
That's fantastic. Well, it's hard to see you. We know you're still there. The sun will come back. So I love the fact that you started this during the pandemic. So many people have actually gone off to do something new and insightful. So congratulations to you for that. So during your journey working with the British School of Excellence, what are some of the things that you've learned about emotional intelligence?
Um, I've done one workshop. It's called About Me from Richard Cullinan. I'm still planning to do the emotional intelligence course, and that workshop that invited me to get to know some more about myself, because I know I can be very, I have these mood swings. I do have ADHD, so I did not really know where to place myself. I can be an introvert, but I can be very extrovert as well. So I started that course, and it was very insightful. It was confronting because sometimes we see things about ourselves that we don't want to see, and some things were surprising, some other things not. And for me it was, um, it made me curious, and I wanted to learn more about myself. And um, things did fall into places. I started to understand why some things uh, didn't work out for me, and some other things, why other things did work out for me. So actually, I'm still in the middle of my journey. I'm still enjoying it, still getting surprised every time. And but since I started getting into the etiquette and manners, re-evaluating my attitude, my etiquettes, my manners, how do I treat people? Because I remember during the global pandemic in the Netherlands, everybody was mad. There was a group who did not really believe in COVID, and the other group who was scared. I belong to the people who were scared. So the Netherlands, and I think maybe the world, it got more polarized. You know, the polarization, it became bigger. And one day I really would love to change the world and make the world a better place, but I realized I was part of the problem as well. Um, it would be beautiful to change the world. I cannot do it all by myself, but at least I could change myself, and maybe I hope to make some impact, change. If I would only change one or two other people or help them in their journey, that would be very satisfying to me.
Thank you so much for your just your transparency. So many people lost relationships and even in their family because they're just at opposite ends. And we talk a lot here on this show about the fact that etiquette and manners is much more than how to put your table setting, opening a door for someone. And I know that you are a consultant internationally for etiquette. So, what are some of the things that you teach people about etiquette that is an expansion of the things people typically think about when they think about good manners and etiquette?
Thank you very much for this very good question. Well, the first thing I teach people, and especially my students, because I'm a modern foreign language teacher. I teach French. I learn them the things that we consider as normal here in the Netherlands. It might not be very normal somewhere else. The intercultural consciousness. That's what I try to teach people. For us, it might be very normal to eat with a fork and a knife, but there are cultures where they use their hands, or chopsticks, like in Asia. And it's the intercultural awareness that I try to. I don't know if implement is the right word, but I try to help people to be aware of their uh, to be aware of the things that we consider as normal here in the Netherlands might not be normal somewhere else. And I am a product of two civilizations. My parents were born in Morocco, North Africa, and I was born in the Netherlands. So I was always pendling between two different cultures. We had a different culture at home than outside. And one of my strongest points is that I really do adapt very fast. And I think as a kid, my curiosity, it started because I've noticed that I was not an ordinary white Dutch girl. I knew I had a different background. And for me, I was always curious about how to pendle between cultures. And that opened my curiosity to other cultures and civilizations and languages. I'm really keen. I love learning other languages. I remember there's this lovely quote. It's a French quote, which says, learning different languages, it means like you are placing yourself in different souls. And I think it's a blessing to help you understand the world better.
That is a fantastic answer. Thank you so much for sharing that. And as we look at what's going on in the world without going from a political viewpoint, but being kind, being generous, lifting other people up, it seems like it's such a simple thing to do, and yet people really struggle with it. So, what suggestions might you have for how people can have acts of kindness for one another, and at the same time, they're showing good manners and good etiquette, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that's a very good question. It seems very easy to be friendly, to be kind, to be considerate to other people, but at the end of the day, it seems very hard. I see it around me. I see it, it can happen everywhere. You see people, especially during this global pandemic, people are less patient. People can be very rude and mad. And once again, I was part of that problem. And the first thing you need is to be aware of it. If you are, I got lucky that I got aware about my behavior. I wasn't really that bad, but I was partly part of that problem by just changing some of the bad habits. If people would only be aware of it and change the little things, be aware, okay, what is it that I might change? Is it necessarily to be mad or rude or why do I need that for? If I may give you an example, about last year, I was in Morocco and I was waiting for my taxi to bring me to Casablanca. And I was waiting. The taxi was delayed for about an hour. And it was, imagine it was so hot, about 40 degrees. I don't know how much that is in Fahrenheit, but imagine Morocco, North Africa, very hot. And normally I would call the hotel and started being mad and how dare you leave me waiting for so long and this. And so I tried to calm myself because I felt the emotion. You were traveling, and so I called the hotel and I counted until 10. Count to 10. That's typically a Dutch. It's a Dutch thing. Before you act, especially when you are over emotional, we count to 10. And then I started. Well, I've told them I'm still waiting and that I was a little disappointing, but I stayed friendly, and they were really. The hotel manager, he apologized, and we're going to send a taxi as soon as possible. Apologies. And later, when I arrived at the hotel, they started apologizing again. And then they offered me one of their most expensive rooms. It was about, I think, $1,000. It was a big, huge suite. And all I did was an act of kindness. I mean, if I started saying bad words or yelling at them, I think I would never have that offer. So
That's a great story. I love that. I was envisioning you there with the heat and just how we start getting anxious and nervous, and we're sweating, then we're getting angrier, and you handled that so well. You handled it beautifully. I was in the grocery store and they had, I think, two or three checkout lines, and we were waiting because there were a lot of people in the store, and the man in front of me, he just started yelling at the checker and I thought to myself, why are you yelling at her? She's doing her job. What else do you want her? But he couldn't control himself. It just started getting worse and worse, and then other people started getting involved, and I thought, oh my goodness, just pick up a magazine and read it while you're there in line. Just take a deep breath. But what you just shared goes on all the time, and the fact that you handled it in that elegant way, that really says something about your etiquette and manners and also your emotional intelligence.
yes, I decided because, as I told you, I do have ADHD, and we have these emotional mood swings. So I'm still working on it, and it's just the awareness of it was the awareness. Okay, I know what I feel. What is it that I feel? Would it be relevant if I would act like the previous Hajar, or let's just change that little thing, just remain calm. And also during the global pandemic, I remember we were scared. One day we were living our normal lives, and the other day we were in lockdown. My mom was stuck in Morocco for 6 months, because Morocco, they had a lockdown. There were no flights to Europe. So I was worried about my mom. What if she got COVID or she dies and I would never see her? Thank God. So I was panicking. And I remember I spoke with my grandfather who lives in Morocco. And we were like on video chatting. And I started complaining. And my grandfather, he told me he's 94 years old. He's still alive. I mean, may God bless him. And he told me, but my granddaughter, um, this pandemic is nothing. He said, he was a military. He said, I was serving in wars. We left. We didn't have social media. There was no internet. My parents would never know if I would come back alive or not. They sent us to Vietnam. He was serving during the Vietnam War in different countries in Africa. He said, we have social media. Look how distant we are, but yet so close to each other. So I felt ashamed. If you hear when my grandfather told me these words, I felt a little ashamed because we have Netflix, we have everything. I started taking the etiquette course instead of wasting my time, and he was so right. And that's also another moment that changed my way of thinking. I've never complained after that. I really started being great, practicing gratitude, and so yeah, if I compared with people back then, so we don't really have it that bad.
I love the fact that your grandfather gave you a different perspective, and that perspective, you embraced it. You could have gone back and forth disputing it, arguing it, but now this or this is worse. But instead you embraced it and you went down a new path, and look at you now.
Thank you very much. Yes, so I would never dare to dispute my grandfather. He might be 94 years old, but oh, if I would, I wouldn't dare. God bless him.
How do you work with your clients? What does that experience look like?
Actually, I'm going to launch very soon. I started to be honest, I started an Instagram page. It was far before I started the train the trainer course at the British School of Excellence, and I started just posting, making some posts, some inspirational quotes, and wow, I'm amazed about the fact how the page, my Instagram page, I'm about to have like 15,000 followers, which I could never imagine it. And I didn't even start the marketing about etiquette. Just started sharing something, some beautiful inspirational quotes that might add value to people's lives. And my inbox on my Instagram, people, they are asking me, do you offer etiquette courses? And not even in the Netherlands. Uh, I mean, they're from the United States, they're from the Middle Eastern, from Africa, from Asia. We want to learn from you. And my little problem is that I'm also an almost full-time school teacher, that is going to change from next year. I'm going to work a little less, so I can focus on my etiquette business. But it opened so many doors. I started networking some more, which was also something that I could be a little scared of. Networking, getting to know new people. What would they think about me? And I just started doing it. And I'm really gifted with my curiosity. So if I would love to learn something, I just go and ask people. If they would answer me, that would be great. If not, that's okay as well. So it's the preparation was mental. So I started like in my mind, slowly by slowly. I started on Instagram, and I've been even asked by a very interesting and lovely lady to do an etiquette training about Morocco online in Spanish for her Argentinian clients. She said, "May I ask you, are you Moroccan? I want you to give a workshop. Let's do a workshop together." And I was a little surprised. I do speak Spanish, but I've never been speaking Spanish in front of a whole public. But she told me, "You can do this. You can handle this." And she was right, and I think she's right. At least I can try it, and we will see. If it goes well, that's fine, and if not, there's all you know I quit. I quit believing in failing or fails, because everything is a learning process. So that's yeah, how I stand right now.
Well, congratulations on your Instagram page and all of the people you have following you and reaching out to you. I saw on your page, you have a post. Elegance is the balance between proportion, emotion, and surprise. And I see this is Valentino Garavani's quote. So you yourself embody all of these things. And I'm sure when people meet with you, when they interact with you, they see this. Is it possible for other people to shift into a world of elegance if they don't consider themselves to be elegant? So, in other words, is elegance learned? Can it be acquired?
I do think that elegance can be learned. I think it's an energy, and I think all of us, we do have it within us. Some people, they express it some more. They do might have it some more. Some others, they do have it within. But because I never knew that I had it in me. I knew my mom. She has always been the elegant lady, and I always looked up to her. I think it's an energy. It's something, it can be learned, and everybody is beautiful the way they are. They have their own elegant energy. It's definitely something that can be learned. So I'm not so worried about that.
See, folks, there's good news for everyone. Everyone can be kind and gracious and lead their lives with elegance. I'd like to talk a little bit just about what you've learned in your role as a teacher, and especially during the pandemic, teachers really went through quite a lot. What was your experience like?
Well, first of all, it was panic, of course, because I was thinking about my lovely kids. Am I going to lose them? What's gonna happen? What is going to happen? And okay, we had the option to do online teaching. In the beginning, there was a little struggle because I couldn't reach every kid, because not all kids in the Netherlands are the Netherlands. It's a rich country, but I do have kids with a single mom, who might not have a laptop, or who don't have a safe space to make their homework. So what I did with my students, I had a coaching call, like for 50 minutes once a week. I tried as much as possible. We had a video calling, and it was not just about school, just checking, hey, how are you? How do you feel today? And just to stimulate them to be positive, because the kids, they didn't understand what's going on around the world. They were sitting in the rooms. Okay, nothing is allowed. No cinema, no friends invited, no birthday parties. So I try to be always be talking with them, give him the listening ear. Because what I've really realized about my students, they really needed someone who would listen to them. You know, I'm of course I'm a school teacher and I'm a language teacher, but at the end of the day, we were like just human to human. I was just the listener. They just wanted someone to. They needed to be heard, and I hope that I have fulfilled that role. I remember a mother. She came with a bottle of champagne at the end of the school year. She told me, thank you so much for helping my son, because he was really struggling during the pandemic with the mood swings, and he did very great at the end of the day. So it was a hard time. I think it's good to experience it, a global pandemic. I think it's an experience. I hope we will never ever have something like this again. But yeah, I think it's another lesson learned.
Yes, definitely. I agree. And I'm wondering, in your experience, both as a teacher and also as an international etiquette consultant, how important is it for young people to learn the power of etiquette and manners? Is it something we have to wait until we're older, or can young people embrace it as well?
Well, I think we should start as young as possible. It's just start with the little things, with saying thank you, and that kids should learn to ask a question if they want something. They shouldn't just start grabbing it, but it's just a thank you and hello and goodbye and the politeness. I think we should start as soon as possible. Of course, etiquette can be learned whenever, at what age, it doesn't matter what age. But at the end, but what I see, sometimes I do have contact with parents through email, and I can be pretty. I've been shock sometimes about the way of communication. It was very too direct, too informal, and I prefer to keep. And I am a professional. I prefer to keep the distance. The professional distance between me and the parents. And sometimes I do. And kids, they copy from the parents. If they see their parent talk in a certain way, acting a certain way, they will copy that. And I see that a lot of time. And actually, in the Netherlands, we do really need etiquette. When I started talking with some people about what I'm doing, they started telling me, "Oh, but that is so old-fashioned. Oh, etiquette. But what is old-fashioned about being kind, being considerate to others? What is old-fashioned about that? Respect? I don't know. It's timeless." So yeah, we really do need it in the Netherlands, and kids should start as soon as possible.
Brilliant. And you mentioned that you are a full-time teacher and you're going to slowly move into this international etiquette consultant role full-time. When do you envision this happening?
I hope I will start doing it part time for a little while, slowly, because I don't believe in just getting into it in one go. Because I still love my teaching job, and maybe I can combine it. If I can keep teaching and doing this, but I think in the long for when I talk about the long term, it might be maybe within now and 5 years I can get fully into it. So I'm getting slowly. It's a journey, and I really enjoy my journey at the moment, so I don't want it to stop.
And it makes perfect sense that as a teacher with so much experience and your journey in the etiquette world, that you can combine them easily and help to shift people's perspectives and also to embrace a new way of being, a new way of treating other people. And I feel like it's all very healing.
Yes, absolutely.
Wonderful. Well, it's been such a pleasure having you here. I'm going to spotlight you. And if you can share with our audience, what's the best way for people to reach out to you, especially your Instagram? They have to do that. I'm following you. And also, who would you like to contact you?
You can follow me on LinkedIn, my full name, Hajare Ait Ouaba. You can follow me on Instagram at schoolofetiquette.nl. You can even reach out to me. You can send me an email at aitouaba.h at gmail.com. And if whoever is stuck or is a problem or struggles with self-confidence, please just contact me. Young ladies, young gentlemen, whoever sees this and feels like, hey, I think I'm in need of, I need this, I want to reach out to this lady, feel free to contact me, and you are most welcome.
Thank you so much, Hajar. I'm going to be in touch with you. I think there's a number of things we can do together here on this platform.
Yes.
So I've really enjoyed meeting you, and I know that our journey will be continuing.
Thank you very much for having me on your lovely platform, and I'm really grateful to be here.
Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day and weekend, and I'll be in touch.
Okay, good to have a good day.
Thanks. You too. Bye. Thank you so much to each and every one of you who are watching us on the live or on the replay, or the people who are listening on the radio. We really do appreciate it. As you know, we have people from all over the world. Hajare is in the Netherlands, and we welcome you to come to our platform and share your story. So with that, I'm going to close out our show for today and look forward to having you join us again next week. We do have, on average, 26 live broadcasts each and every week, and we're coming out with some new shows as well, with new topics that we're always interested in hearing from our fans. If you are interested in sharing a topic that you'd be interested in watching a program on, or if you'd like to be a guest on our show, please do reach out. Go over to our website, usaglobaltv.com. You can book your session right there. You can also get in contact with me. And if you have a message about a show, I'd love to hear it, as I mentioned. So thanks again. Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you back here soon. Bye.